We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
We finally made it. We finally made it, guys. It's football season. We've waited so long to get through that crap of non-football time of the year. We made it through boring, unmotivated basketball, ups and downs of sloshing through it with the baseball, and oh my God, Little League baseball. Look, but finally, we've got past it all. And we have football, actual, real, live football tomorrow. B. Foster, as always. Dave, as always. My triumphant trio of the NFC North. How you all feeling? You all as pumped for football as I am?
I can't wait. I've been eating this week up like no other. It is opening week. And the whole idea that football starts to count as of tomorrow night, as in Thursday night, is going to be glorious.
Yeah. Yeah, as always, Foster with his unbridled joy, gotta contain his excitement, as always. Guys, leading into this week, in fact, 24 hours after we did this show last week, I told you, Dave and Foster and everybody else watching, that there was no chance that Michael Parsons gets traded. In fact, I stamped it. I said, there's a greater chance of me having a Jet 2 holiday to the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift wedding than Michael Parsons getting traded out of Dallas.
And you got the tickets this week to go to the wedding, didn't you?
I will be there. I will be there. I will be there. And I possibly might even be in the groom's party. But, fellas, how does that affect you as you see the NFC North? I know we all came into this season having our most objective, not even objective, our most rosy opinions about our team, about how the season is going to go for us. And then this happens. We got another bell cow, a real live player. Someone say might even be the best defensive player in the league is now in this division playing for those ops, those cheese-headed guys in Wisconsin. Does that change your outlook for this division there, Foster?
Well, I mean, when we looked at the Packers this offseason, we looked at them as kind of like blah, like nothing jumps off the page. They're missing something. So for them to go out and get a player of his caliber, it definitely refocuses what it puts things in a different perspective. So yeah, it definitely will have an impact on the Lions specifically, and we get to face that right away, which I think plays to our benefit in a couple different ways. But I'll save that part of it for later.
What about you, Dave? Giving the Packers any more love? In fact, better question: the national media has been a lapdog for Green Bay, for lack of a better term, all off season. Is it now
slobbering over themselves? Yes,
like the most disgusting bulldog you've ever seen. Is those opinions coming more into a clearer view for you now that they have brought in Michael Parsons?
Well, that the national media has a fascination with everything waste management in Wisconsin? Sure. We knew that was going to happen, but it's when suddenly the trade was announced and Vegas jumped the division winning odds for the Packers, I shook my head. And now in every national media show, product, commentary, you hear, who are the Super Bowl contenders? The Packers. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You've got a quarterback that He's the professional quarterback, as we coined years ago, that you don't know if he's going to be good or is he going to be bad. What's going to happen with him? You just gave away your number one run stuffer in Mr. Clark. Well, as I told my fans, there are at least 2, if not 3, other teams in the division that are designed to run the football. Going to run it down their throats. And if they can't stop it, what good does that spectacular edge rusher who happens to actually be hurt? You know, we joked around about, oh no, Micah Parsons, he's got a back problem. It's probably because his wallet doesn't weigh too much. And we joked around, it'll clear up as soon as he gets traded and makes an obscene salary. And then, lo and behold, he's talking about having to take an epidural for the game on Sunday.
Speaking about that game on Sunday, Foster, have you heard if he's going to actually, be on a pitch count, or he's going to actually be a functional part of the Packers defense as they line up against your Detroit Lions? In fact, let's use that as a light segue to talk about and preview that game. We haven't done a game preview. It feels like 5 years, but let's get into it. Foster, let's talk about it. Lions, Packers, Micah Parsons. What's to it?
Yeah, so I haven't read anything as far as specifics about any restrictions. I did see that he was going to need an epidural to just suit up, which is one of the main reasons why I said it aids us to get them out the gate. It'll be in Green Bay, so that will be the weather. I haven't checked the exact forecast, but I would assume it's going to be mid to low 70s. So they won't have the advantage of the inclement weather. Last year it was like a monsoon. It was a ton of rain. We still pulled it off, but it was a fairly close game overall. So I think we have some things going for us. As the guy said, he hasn't been practicing. He hasn't been playing. So he's, we're not getting that top defensive player level. He's going to literally need some things to even get himself out there. So that part of it definitely plays into the hands of Detroit. But as far as keys to the game, I think that making the team a one-dimensional team, Josh Jacobs is coming off the best year of his career, and I think that if we can limit him running wise and put the ball in the hands of the professional quarterback Jordan Love, who has been inconsistent, who has been known to be a gunslinger, and if you can put him in situations where we know he's passing the ball, he will give us some opportunities to make some plays. Last year, he had an ill-advised throw that ended up in the hands of Kirby Joseph that he took to the house. So we hope to have similar success in the future. Outside of that, to echo the sentiments, just attacking right up the middle against the run defense, because they will be without Kenneth Clark. They do have some pretty good young linebackers in Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker, but that's definitely going to be a part of their game that they will be lacking going into the season. Yeah. And the fact that Micah Parsons himself is not a good run defender. So I think that with him lined up against the strength of our team, which is our outside offensive line, Penei Sewell or Taylor Decker, I think we can literally run right at him, especially if he's feeling any of the ailments of that back. But the last key to the game that I see is attacking the outside and the cornerbacks. They have they'll obviously be without Jair Alexander, who moved on to Carolina. Where'd he go?
Jair Alexander is at
Baltimore. Baltimore.
Yeah,
He's
Baltimore.
I think he's from North Carolina, but yeah. So he's moved on to Baltimore, and so I think that we will have an opportunity to exploit that cornerback room. Hobbs, what's his first name? Alexander Hobbs has yet to practice this week, so he will likely not be up to 100% standards. And Keyshawn Nixon is just an average corner, so I think there'll be some opportunities on the outside. We will have to be weary of the middle of the field. Xavier McKinney is one of the players that they signed in the offseason, and he will be definitely posted in the middle of the field and looking to attack. But the cornerback room is still questionable, and with their CB2 already not practicing, that makes them even more vulnerable at this point.
I like it. DraftKings has the Packers as a 2.5-point favorite. Foster, how would you bet in this game?
I think I think a lot of that has to, it's them playing into the Micah Parsons.
No, don't be nice. Don't be nice. You know what it is. It's overrated. The Packers are just being what's the term in the adult industry? They're being fluffed.
For sure.
They're being fluffed. You can call it like you can call it as it is. But We've got I'm sure on the Bleachers to Speakers channel, you all have a more in-depth preview of everything that you need to know going into this game for you to make all the right decisions. If you are inclined to gamble, if you are inclined to dabble into that type of stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and put that up there again for all those who are into Detroit Lions. Bleachers to Speakers podcast. The NFC North is double dipping this week, Dave.
But first, with the Lions and the Cheese Weasels, Foster failed to mention the one thing that has hindered the Lions the last couple seasons. They're starting with 2 healthy defensive edge rushers. So how in the world with that is Green Bay going to be better than Detroit? I just don't see it.
Maybe because I'm biased and I have a disdain. In fact, I'm not even going to clear it. I'm not even going to clean it up. I hate the Packers, so I could never see it. But
right.
I've got them going 0-17.
No, I wouldn't call that, but I call
it's hard for me. It's hard for me to see a Packers loss. Yeah, we can get into that, Dave. But the schedule makers gave the world what they want. The world loves to see the NFC North teams, best division in the football,
and that the national press is still saying that.
Why would they only lie for the Packers? Everything else, spot on. We've got one team in the North playing the other team in the North, and get the other two playing each other as well. Dave, we have our more in depth previews also on our own show. But the Bears, my squad, your squad, the Vikings, they do match up on Monday Night Football. Tell me, Dave, what do all Vikings fans and Bears haters, what do they need to know about this game?
Well, that the national media is picking the Chicago Bears. Why? I have no idea. Because they have Caleb Williams, the golden child, and Ben Johnson, the golden coach. And will it all come together against the Brian Flores defense? Who loves to blitz and to confuse and to absolutely attack. We will see. Everybody is healthy for the most part. There's nobody out as of yet. And then over on the other side of the ball, you have first year starting, returning home where he grew up, J.J. McCarthy, ready to lead probably the biggest, mostest group of offensive weapons that have ever entered Chicago. We have Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison will not be there because he's serving suspension. We have Adam Thielen, Jalen Naylor, who's supposed to be better from his hand jamming. And then we have the running backs, Aaron Jones, followed by Jordan Mason down in the red zone. And we have two of the best tight ends in the league, whether it be TJ Hawkinson or Josh Oliver, a magic man who is a heck of a blocker, if not the best blocking tight end in the league, behind a completely rebuilt interior offensive line, ready to move people, to get abusive with defenses. We're going to see it happen Monday night.
Ooh. You're saying that everybody's picking the Bears over the Vikings. I've got DraftKings as the Bears as a 1.5-point dog at the crib. I'm going to tell you why I'm taking the home team in this game. Number one reason, they have the better quarterback. How that plays out over the course of their career, anyone's guess. But as of right now, it is, like you said, J.J. McCarthy's first career start in the NFL. It ain't the Big Ten. The Big Ten is close to the NFL, but it ain't the NFL. You can't get away with just throwing the ball 12 times and winning the championship. You're gonna prove that arm a lot more. And this is not another porn pun. You're gonna have to do something in the NFL for it to actually matter. That's the first thing. Two, the home team. The Bears have been, over the last 3 seasons, they've defended home fairly well. Just in contrast to what they do on the road. What they do on the road, been pretty mid, if not god awful. But at home, they're a plus team. The number 3 reason, the biggest reason, and I still say the biggest move this offseason as anybody has made in this division, and if anybody have made in the NFL, Bears have Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson in the last 4 meetings against Brian Flores' defense, 4-0. Average score, 29 points put up on that defense. He's seen the blitzes. He's seen the coverage schemes. He knows how to attack it. Now, I'm not saying there is a difference between the talent in Chicago and what he had in Detroit, his previous position. Obviously, it's not the same players, but we're talking schematics here. We're talking schematics. If you know how to get your players in the right position to be successful, to be great, that's 8/10 of the game of football. Being in the right position and then knowing what to expect and knowing how to act on it. Talent makes up the other 20%. And I believe the Bears are to be a talented team. They wouldn't be in this discussion for possibly dark chance of making the playoffs. Yeah, but outside chance of making the playoffs. They wouldn't be there if they didn't have some type of talent to lean back on. That's why those are my reasons. We got more to talk about as well, but I do think it's going to be a great game. They're ending week 1 on the highest of notes that the NFL could possibly do. Especially, shout out to the fans. I know they're asking a lot for NFL fans because they're starting the week at the lowest point you could possibly ask the fans to start with on Thursday Night Football, defending chance against those Dallas Cowboys. God awful. Jerry Jones knows how to really mess it up sometimes. But anyway, they're not about them right now. We are ending the week with a great game. Good luck to your guys, Dave. Wish you all the best after this game and go on the rest of the season. Get back to 500. But this game, Bears started 1-0.
Now, did you notice that because we play each other the first week of the season, that means half the division will be in first place and the other half will be in second or last.
Ooh. I
Unless
don't know how that makes you. How does that make you feel, Dave? You're gonna be right there rubbing shoulders with the Packers.
That ain't gonna happen. However, I look at DraftKings as well, and believe it or not, 78% of the bets and 62% of the money is on the Bears. At the 1 plus 1.5. Which
I want to say those are smart people.
Foolish, but okay.
I want to say those are smart people, but it does lean into some sort of things. But you all, it's a coin flip football game. Any given Sunday, well, in this case Monday, anything can happen. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. Can't wait to see what that happens. We've been waiting for this for a long time, so I'm finally ready to see. Prove me right, guys.
Yeah, but the news today was that Ben Johnson's paring down the offense.
Supposed to.
Caleb Williams. And that Caleb Williams is going to play with a snap count to try to defeat Brian Flores.
A snap count, Dave?
The cadence.
Well, of course, yes. Every offensive coordinator, in this case, Ben Johnson is the de facto offensive coordinator. They always pare down the offense after training camp. You use training camp to explore what you can do. And then you take the things that you're good at, and then you bring those to your actual Sunday playbook. So yes, that I expect the playbook to not be as expansive as you will see some of those dossiers you will see in DC. No, that's not going to be the playbook you see the guys running out there with. That's why you only see the Waffle House type menus. The guys are running around when they're calling plays. That's the pared down off playbook.
We'll see with your rookie head coach.
As you're supposed to. I don't like that. How you threw a little shade on that rookie, but
I like that. I had to think about it. I said, you know what? He is a rookie.
Fair. It's a way different job from being OC and being HC. It's a different job. I get it out. It's fair. But I believe him.
I bet you do.
Let's go ahead and take that first break, and let's come back and play a game. The last chance you get to stump for your squad before they got to actually back it up. If you're watching this live, you know what to do. Stay put. All our audio listeners, check out some of our ad partners. They got something great that you need to check out. We'll be right back after this.
Need a Garrett's popcorn break.
It's been a while since I've got to watch Around the Horn, one of my favorite shows on ESPN. Score the argument. Don't just talk all day and you just get to run off with the facts. The first debating show, I don't know if you all know this, but it's actually started in Chicago. Siskel and Ebert. That's the actual first debating show.
The movie guys?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Foster, the movie guys.
Oh, come on, man.
Yes,
Don't do
Foster.
that.
A lot of people don't know that that's really the first debate show. But what made you Around the Horn unique is because you actually you got scored based on what type of mumbo jumbo you put out there. It made you sharpen the argument, right? And that's what we're going to do today. We've talked all off season about who's going to do this, why they're going to do this. Now it's enough. Now it's time to put up and shut up. Last chance. And we're going to start with you, Dave. Why will the Vikings win the NFC North?
It's real simple. We've upgraded, and I mean seriously upgraded, our weak points from last season. The interior offensive line with a new draft choice, Donovan Jackson, who's doing exceedingly well, Mr. Ryan Kelly at center, and our right guard, Mr. Matt Fries. I don't think it's Matt, it's Brian Fries. And also our defensive interior. We addressed as well with Mr. Hargrave and Mr. Allen. We are going to get defensive push. What we did was we targeted things that led to our early playoff demise at the hands of two very good teams, the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. We've solved those while building up all around everybody else. We've got a quarterback, a young quarterback, who has every tool necessary to take us to the promised land. We are going to use those tools. Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer who made Sam Darnold actually good, made Kirk Cousins even better, made Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins serviceable backups, is going to drive this train, and we are going to win the division this season and possibly the NFC.
All right, Foster, got a rebuttal. Tell me why the Vikings won't win the division.
Well, for one, I think one of their biggest issues was their cornerback room. And outside of, I think, one of their guys returning from a season-ending injury, I don't think they made any additions. They re-signed, I think, Byron Murphy. But outside of that, I think that's one glaring thing that hasn't been addressed. Outside of that, yes, J.J. McCarthy has all the tools, but he is young. He's unproven. Until I see him, I can't buy into that. And yeah, he's a rookie. I have no reason to believe that he's going to carry the team to a division lead, especially given. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
That's your argument. All right. There's I'm not going to pile on. There is I think the quarterback question is the biggest one. I don't think there's other ones that could be made. However, I'm gonna just leave it right there. Flip it around. Foster, last chance. Detroit. This will be going for their third division title in a row.
Yeah.
I think only the Packers have done that, right? Has it happened for any other team? 3 division titles in a row?
Certainly not us.
Why can't it be you this year? Tell me why it will be the Detroit Lions.
It will be because this will be the second. We'll be going for the third time NFC North champs. But we dominated last year. We won out. We won all. What is that? Was it 6 games? We're 6-0. So until we've been dethroned, there's no reason why we can't continue that trend. We didn't have any major losses in the offseason. We made improvements where they were necessary. We have arguably the top offensive player in all of the NFC North in Penei Sewell, the top quarterback in Jared Goff, and a lot of our best players are young players that are continuing to ascend. They haven't even hit their peak yet. Outside of that, we went 15-2 last year with all of those injuries, and we are, Aiden Hutchinson, we're returning arguably our best player in Aiden Hutchinson to a team that was already dominant as is. So, yeah, we got a balance. We'll have a balanced attack offensively. The defense should be better. We went out and got DJ Reed in the offseason. Terrion Arnold, one of the young talented players who is looking to take that next step. And I really don't see a lot of weaknesses. The biggest question for us is going to come down to injuries. Any concerns that I had as far as our pass rush is concerned, we got a top 5 pass rusher, and then a guy on the other end that if he can remotely be healthy is going to help us immensely.
Dave, why? Hold on. Gotta let the gong sound first. Dave.
First off, before you ask the question, to answer your question about 3 in a row, every team in the division, minus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when we were the Central, except for the Detroit Lions, has won multiple times, at least 3 divisions in a row.
You're counting the Central Division.
I'm counting the Central. I'm counting since 1967.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I would expect everyone, not the Detroit Lions, to have done it.
And the Detroit Lions didn't, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not while they were in the Central.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Tampa Bay? Have they done anything since they left the division? I haven't been keeping up.
Yeah, they won
Tom
a couple
Brady.
Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Trent
look at
Dilfer.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're favored this year, too.
Wow.
Division is horrible, but yeah.
But, all right. What am I supposed to answer?
Why won't the Detroit Lions win the NFC North?
Oh, wait a minute. I just gave a historical reference. They have never won the division 3 years in a row. They lost their brain trust. They lost Ben Johnson to the Chicago Bears. They lost their defensive coordinator to the New York Giants. And I'm hearing good things out of that. It's a question of, will Goff be ready to shoulder the load? Will Man Campbell be able to keep everything together when he lost his people that drove the train? Will they stay healthy enough? They've had a history of injury problems. That doesn't seem to have been fixed, but who knows? Maybe this is the year they actually do stay healthy. It's going to be interesting. I do not think they're going to win the division for the primary reason that the Minnesota Vikings are.
I do agree with you there. That one of those points there, Dave. The most recent example we have is the Philadelphia Eagles after they won that Super Bowl. Not this most recent one. The one in which all their fans were in the street eating horse feculence. That one. They lost all their coordinators, lost all their coaches, and then they were a skid mark the entire season. Not the entire season, but second half of the season, the wheels fell off. It is hard to replace all those voices in a room. I respect Man Campbell. I do think he is the voice for the Lions. If anybody knows football, if anybody knows football minds, as we've seen the way he's hired his coaches ever since he took over in Detroit, I think he might be able to put together a good staff. No diddy, but it will come at a cost because the other teams are pressing. That was a good job, guys. I'm going to now do it for the Chicago Bears. So I want you both to counter what I say. In fact, no, how about you all start? Tell me why the Chicago Bears won't win the division. Foster, you take lead. Tell me why the Bears ain't got it this year.
I think that it's going to take them some time to get acclimated to the new the new leadership involved. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's just it, huh? Just a little acclimation. So second half swoon. Second half, you just take off second half of the season. I like that. Making this easier for me. Dave, what you got for me?
Well, the Chicago Bears happen to own the biggest NFC North champion drought of the whole group of teams. They haven't won one since 2018. You have a rookie head coach, as I said before. There are tons of distractions and potential distractions available in the foreseeable future, whether it be with Caleb Williams or anybody else on the squad or the stadium kerfuffle on whether you're going to actually get one or not and have to start threatening to move somewhere, whether you have enough money to do it in your, at the former racetrack. It's all there. It's all ready to come together and torpedo your season.
Really? All coming together to torpedo the season. So the Bears have been threatening to get out of Soldier Field since they got there. Since 1975, they've been trying to get out of that situation with Chicago. But much like what the situation that the Browns find themselves in with Cleveland, Chicago don't play that. You belong to Chicago. You will stay where we tell you to stay, unless you're going to pony up some money to build your own situation. So the Bears finally did get their pockets together, and now they're going to get out of that. That has no bearing on the on-field situation, and you know why? And do you know why? It's because an example. 1985 is an example for that. They were in a stadium situation with the Bears with Chicago just that year, and they still won a Super Bowl. Not going to be an issue.
Typical Chicago fan going back to the glory years of 1985. Go Ditka.
That is right. That is something I can do. I don't know about anybody else if they can go back to a glory year to lean on. I can do that. It may have been 40 years ago, but I'm going to do it when possible. As far as what you said about getting used to the new coaches. Yes, it's going to take a while to gel. Yes, I do. Yes, it does a while take 18 weeks. We shall find out. But I do think this. The Packers, they have upgraded. They have made one upgrade this offseason. That's Michael Parsons. Can anybody tell me how many playoff wins Michael Parsons has?
0.
Can anybody tell me how many playoff sacks Michael Parsons has?
0.
That's to be one. One playoff sack. One off-season addition for one playoff sack. I fear nothing coming out of Green Bay. The Bears have made the most important improvement this year. The one thing holding the Bears back was the shitty shit on the sideline. We don't have shitty shit on the sideline anymore. That is a DC problem. We have upgraded everywhere where we needed to upgrade.
For translation, he means Eberflus.
That is correct. And we played in week 3. We're going to destroy that. We're going to destroy his defense. The Bears upgraded not only their coaching situation, the Bears upgraded their offensive line. That was the second issue that they had. They probably now very much you can make the argument they probably do have the second best offensive line in the division. I would give that. I will let the Vikings and the Packers battle that out for best offensive line. It is a very, very good situation. And instead of being the absolute worst last year, they have made tremendous strides in that way. Another year with Caleb Williams maturing as a professional quarterback. Another year with him, his good buddy Roma Duze, his sometimes good buddy DJ Moore. Everybody in the same offense, running together, stride for stride. Everybody on defense is brought back with more additions to that leaky run defense they had last year. Grady Jarrett named a defensive captain. One of the best run stoppers in the NFC for his whole career. Brought back TJ Edwards, one of the best linebackers in this division, still with the Chicago Bears. Another season with Javon Dexter, moving into that captain status that he had. This all the arrows are pointing up for Chicago. There is no sensible reason for I can believe that they just ain't got it. If there's a better argument to be made, it'll be like I can hear that other teams have also made the same strides. But as you all have stated, Foster, you lost all your coaches. They just happen to be here now. Dave, you have a rookie quarterback. We know how that goes.
First year starter quarterback.
Some people might call that a rookie.
Not one snap though.
Hey, you got that Green Bay quarterback that sat 3 years before he got his first snap.
And a whole lot of good it did him. Still looks mid. And with the Packers, I'm not impressed. They made no real additions other than Micah Parsons. Hey, I don't know if you all know this, but they were not a Micah Parsons away from doing anything substantial. They're still the same squad.
And they gave up Kenny Clark in the process.
We're going to run it down their throats. No diddy. So there you go. That is exactly why your Bears are going to win this division for the 2025 season. Tell me now.
It's good.
If you disagree, I respect it. I mean, that's the time of the year to do it now, because once Monday hits, somebody got to put up a shut up.
Speaking of put up or shut up, would you like to make a wager on Monday's game?
Oh, I always love wagers, Dave. What's the make it light on yourself? Tell me how you want to how you come. Oh, that's also a pause.
Oh, it could be real simple. We could either do a tin of Garrett's popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Speaking my language. All right.
Or a bottle of a favorite beverage.
I like the way you think, Dave. You're on. Virtual handshake. We are good. We are good there. So I did want to make the argument for the Packers. I want to be respectful for any Green Bay fans coming in here. So I, as the principal, well, I won't say principal, as the second biggest hater on the show of the Green Bay Packers, only behind Foster, I'll make the argument for them. Foster or Dave, did you all want to make an argument against?
We could double team it.
Oh, okay. Don't say that too loud. So, okay. So the Packers, I did say they do have a very, very good, respectable coach. They have won some playoff. They've won playoff games with the coach, right?
Yes, Matt LaFleur is a decent coach.
Mm-hmm. Matt LaFleur has done a lot of good things with the Packers ever since he got hired. He hasn't just taken that next step. And we're not talking about the next step yet. We're talking about just winning this division. Other than that, Jordan Love, I don't think he's one of the pluses for that squad. I think he's very mid, but they did upgrade their wide receivers. They one of the things they've been fighting against all this time were injuries in that wide receiver room. They drafted Matthew Golden out of Notre Dame. I think he ran like a 4.19 40, something like that, or 4.2, something super speedy.
Yeah,
real speedy guy out of Notre Dame to go with Jordan, to go with Reed and Christian Watson. If any of those guys can actually hit lightning in a bottle and stay healthy, they would have a very dangerous.
Yeah,
that too. They would have an impressive wide receiver room. Other than that, the defense, as I already stated, they didn't make any real upgrades to the defense other than Micah Parsons, who is in the discussion to be one of the best defensive players in the league. Yes, I don't think that he makes that big. I don't think he makes the type of impact that TJ Watt does, or Myles Garrett does, or maybe even Roquan Smith, one of my favorites. But however, even if you say that, TJ Watt has no playoff wins. Myles Garrett, he has what, 2, I think. 2 playoff wins. One of them against TJ Watt himself. They, for as great as those guys are, they don't have the playoff heart. They don't have the playoff wherewithal that exactly. They don't do it either. So I don't want to say that Micah Parsons isn't what he's cracked up to be just because of what happened in the postseason. No. Micah Parsons played with Dak Prescott, a better quarterback than Jordan Love, and he played with a higher octane offense. There should have been some more success there. Reasons are not always resting with the individual players, the point I'm making. So the Packers, they have an avenue. I can see a small argument of them winning the division. Take it away.
I mean, I think you said they mentioned. I mean, you said that they addressed their receiver situation. I think injuries right now, nearly the entire receiving core is on the injury report currently. They're going to lean on their rookie wide receiver, as you mentioned, Matthew Golden. I think that they're a team that you can game plan against, because if you cut their water off as far as running is concerned, and they have to lean into their receiving core, it's going to create a recipe for disaster for that professional quarterback. As Dave mentioned, you should be able to run against them, and their cornerback room is suspect at best. So they're going to have to address that. Of course, if Michael Parsons can get home and spends a lot of time in the backfield, that'll help them in that regards, but he's going to have to get healthy first.
Definitely.
Then you have
the back situation.
The whole national press slobbering all over him. And yet, over the last few years, they have not lived up to the slobber, to the hype. There's talk that Matt LaFleur and Gutekunst may be getting a little warm on the backside, as in if they do not do well this season, they may be looking for a regime change in Green Bay. I find it a whole lot of pressure-filled, beer-drowned, cheese-eaten angst coming out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I want to give a round of applause to Tim Lyons in the chat, who states that Trey Hendrickson has more playoff wins than Watt, Garrett, and Micah. He's 100% true. And do we see that changing in the toughest division in the NFC, or the toughest division in all of the NFL? We've all given our kudos to our own teams and to the rest. And do you think Green Bay's going to step up to the plate? Are you kidding me? It's a recipe for disaster.
Eloquently stated there, Dave. Green Bay Packers, get out of here. Where else can they hear those eloquent notes from you, Dave, as far as everything concerning the Minnesota Vikings, what you all got coming up on the Vikings First and Skull? Let them know where they can find you.
You can find us at Vikings First and Skull on YouTube, on your favorite podcast aggregator, over at Fans First Sports Network. Just click the Vikings tab and it'll drive you to our writings there. We have our premier, Mr. Tyler Fornes, who's a sports writer for A to Z Sports. He will be live tomorrow night at 6:05, and we're going to be previewing the game even more in depth, and he'll be looking at it from a different point of view because Tyler and I are different. That's just the way it works. And then, of course, there are podcast-only shows, where there's one coming up where Pay and I are going to talk. We're sculling with friends on my end, and we're going to talk the game on Monday. And then finally, for two old bloggers, it's the regular season, which means we move from Sunday to Saturday morning. And we're adding a third old blogger to it in the name of Drew Bunting, formerly of the Vikings Report. And we're going to have fun, as we normally do, previewing the game and going over the week's news, followed by, well, I'd normally say, followed by the post game on Sunday, but it's not on Sunday. It's on Monday, live at the 2-minute warning. Come join us at Vikings First and Skull.
It is going to be interesting. Usually I would post over at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. I usually post our previews Friday so you can get the feel of it for a Sunday show. For a Sunday game, but the Bears play Monday. I might have to do two previews, Dave. Yeah. Me and you got that preview, Dave, and me and my team, as you know, Q, Tiff, and the rest. If I can find Tiff to get off the beach and get in front of a microphone, we can get that together for you.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
She hates when I tell her that she's lacking in her duty. But Foster, where else can they get your Detroit sports and any other things you got coming up over at your channel?
They can find us at Bleachers to Speakers. That is the name of specifically the name of our Detroit Lions show. But that is where you can find us on YouTube for the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Tigers, as well as the Detroit Pistons.
What I know you all do a Saturday show. That Saturday show, is it going to be more so? Wait, what time is the Saturday show? Because I feel like I catch it at different times, different mornings. I try to set my Saturday mornings up. Like, I used to watch cartoons in the Saturday morning, big bowl of cereal, get everything prepared. And I'm waiting for you all to get that live to jump in. Sometimes I already got my bowl already gone, and I got to start a different bowl. If you know, you know. But what time is your Saturday morning show?
There is no specific show. We try to start it around 10 o'clock. It just kind of depends on how things went Friday night. You know how that goes. Maybe a few bowls for myself.
Can't go wrong with a weekend bowl. As always, guys, good luck to you all's teams this weekend. We've waited a long time.
No. Hey,
we have done a show at 7 a.m. It just depends.
Good luck to you guys this week. Going into this weekend, I want you all to enjoy football safely. To my co-hosts, to everybody watching, enjoy football safely. And if you can do nothing else, make sure you do not yell, "Go Pack, go." Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.